What's up, YouTube? This is GroudonEmpire, and I am back for another episode of Route Global 1000. Episode, I believe, 35. Don't quote me on that. You'll see in the title. Now, for today's episode, instead of any kind of introduction, I am going to go right into the game right away as soon as possible because this game is actually pretty intense, and it's going to take a lot of time, and I just want to get right into it. So, right from the get-go, we see our opponent, and their points are actually 1842. The points that I have going into this are 1771. We see our opponent's team. Now you can start your 2-minute time thingy as we pick our team. 2 minutes. We see a Dragonite, and Dragonite is the only Pokemon we would need rocks for, Stealth Rock. However, I do see a Misdreavus, and usually when there's a Misdreavus on the opponent's team, that Misdreavus, or Misdreavus, whatever you want to call it, is the lead. So, I don't want to start off with the Garchomp just to end up getting burned, when I can have a late game Garchomp. You know, I can clean up with Rock Tomb plus Outrage, or just Rock Tomb plus Rock Tomb versus the Dragonite, or versus that Gardevoir with double Earthquake, or, you know, anything like Earthquake versus that Bisharp, and then Outrage versus... So I can use Garchomp in this game. I will use it, but I will use it as a late game or mid game Pokemon, not as a lead. And for lead, I will pick Mega Kangaskhan because I can Shadow Ball that Misdreavus to death, and Misdreavus is a pain otherwise, you know. And I can 2-hit KO pretty much every single other Pokemon on the team anyway, so it doesn't really matter what I do other than that. So yeah, Blaziken I don't decide on bringing because Extreme Speed, Dragonite, you know, Dragonite's an issue, and you know, Azumarill can take advantage of whatever Dragonite wants to do and set up, and then I can just wreck the entire team with Azumarill. So I feel like I can get a chance to set up with Azumarill, and if I don't, Azumarill is still faster than the Mega Ampharos, and I can defeat it, and I can Superpower plus Aqua Jet the Kangaskhan, and I can play rough Aqua Jet and then play rough the Dragonite, and I can do big damage to the everything else. So basically, I want to bring Azumarill because I feel it's better than any other choice that I would have. And as you will see in a moment, that's the team I bring. I bring the Kangaskhan, the Azumarill, and the Garchomp. Now, could I have brought Reuniclus? There is a Dark type on the team, and there is a Ghost in... I mean, I could have set up on the Misdreavus, but I mean, Shadow Ball, and it's just, like, it's faster than me, so I can't bring, Homie Dog, Reuniclus. Anyway, straight into this replay, they start off with the Gardevoir instead of the Misdreavus. However, I will just Mega Evolve, go for a Shadow Ball. I won't do any crazy predictions, and will go for a Seismic Toss, predicting a switch, because I predict a switch to the Misdreavus, so why would I want to Seismic Toss Misdreavus, you know? That's why I'm going to Shadow Ball, and it should be do a good amount of damage. It's not going to be doing too much, but it should do a good amount, and it does do a good amount. 2/3 is a good amount. Next turn I use Ice Beam because I might get Thunder Waved and then Destiny Bonded by this Misdreavus. So it's better I go for Freezing. You know, Freeze Hacks can help me out a lot, so that's why I go for the Ice Beam. I also don't want to get Destiny Bonded, as I told you guys. It's not like I'm going to 2-hit KO, so go for the Ice Beam, and I think this turn as well, I go for the Ice Beam, but I get paralyzed, so we can't see that. Next turn, again, I go for the Ice Beam because I freeze whatever wants to come in, and if I don't, well, I went for a Shadow Ball. I'm surprised at that move. And I think that move would have cost me the game. That I did not go for an Ice Beam. It's whatever. It really is. My opponent goes for a Double Edge. You know, that probably will kill me, and it does kill me, yeah. If I went for an Ice Beam and I actually got a freeze, it would have been awesome. Or just any kind of damage. So that was a bad play on my part. From my post-game commentary, you can tell I would not have done that if I had a chance to go back to this game. Without even knowing what my end result is, I would definitely want to redo that turn. And a Calm Mind. Okay, so I use Rock Tomb in the first turn because I predict a switch. And I'm Sash, so it doesn't matter. But actually it does matter because it's a freaking Kangaskhan. But I do predict this thing to come in. Because it's freaking levitate, so it's gonna be immune to earthquake, and it's you know that's why I do what I do. And right now I go for the outrage after getting burned because I can't earthquake it, and Rock Tomb's not gonna help, so I just go straight away for the outrage. I'll outrage this thing to death, and it might go to Gardevoir, it might not. It doesn't matter to me. I don't care. I do whatever the hell I want, whatever it is. So yeah, it switches into the Gardevoir. But about that turn, about the Kangaskhan, the Ice Beam, that Ice Beam, I should have done that Ice Beam, you know? That might have... I mean, if I froze, it would have won. I would have been in good position. That damage would have been in handy otherwise anyway, so it's like, really, only I would have been benefiting, you know? It would have been nothing but benefit. I just went for the Ice Beam. Again, and right now I just go for the Earthquake. I don't need to go for Rock Tombs. That's not going to really, like, help. I mean, it might help, honestly speaking. It might actually help. So I should have went for the Rock Tomb, actually. It's too... So I messed up again. I just thought I wanted to do as much damage as possible. So I guess it's not really messing up. Right now, he goes for the Thunder Wave while I go for a Belly Drum because I'm not going to win if I don't go for a Belly Drum. That's why I go for a Belly Drum, because I don't win otherwise. That's why I went for a Belly Drum at this turn. Now, going back a couple of turns back, when you have the intensity of the game and the nerves and the anxiousness at the time of playing, you can't think with a completely straight mind. And that has actually cost me to lose many games. I use Aqua Jet right now. I KO this thing. I break hacks, so that's awesome. So that's why for games like this, and many of my losses actually, they haven't come because I'm a bad player, but they've come mostly because I just mess up due to nerves and anxiety. As right now, I am definitely commentating post-game, and I am actually commentating better things that I should have done, and we can see from the replay I did not do the best options as possible. Luckily for me right now, I'm not getting hacked. Well, it's in my favor to not get hacked, para hacks, but still, I mean, if I get para hacks one turn, everything is gone. My opponent doesn't have fake out, and I could end up Aqua Jetting everything, and I win. And because my opponent used Double Edge, I didn't have to worry about the Ice Beam doing damage, because Aqua Jet is not going to one-hit KO the Kangaskhan otherwise. It needs some tip damage beforehand, and I ended up... Actually, I think it does KO. Not Bulky Kangaskhan. Bulky Kangaskhan was 252 HP. The ones that usually have Double Edge, it won't KO that. But it will KO Standard with no HP investment. So yeah, I hope you guys learned from this episode. And definitely the most important thing to learn from this is nerves. You know, when you see a Misdreavus that's going to wall you, might Thunder Wave you, and then it's going to Destiny Bond, and you have a Kangaskhan, or you have something in, and you just, you know, you're anxious, you don't know what's going to happen, it's going to be a stally kind of game, and you might mess up just because of the nerves and the anxiety. As I did, a few turns I did mess up. Did they end up costing me the game? They could have. You know, they actually could have cost me the game. But you know what? I really think that, you know, they could have cost me the game, but they didn't cost me the game, so that was nice. That Gardevoir, I thought it was Scarfed. That's why I actually went for an Earthquake instead of Rock Tomb, because even if I went for a Rock Tomb, it wouldn't matter, because if it's Scarfed, and if I survive a Moonblast to begin with, okay, that would be amazing, alright? And, I mean, I think I had... No, yeah, if I survive a Moonblast, that would be amazing, right? That's great. But I doubt that's going to happen. And even if it does happen, Rock Tomb does less damage than Earthquake, and I'm burned. And if it's Scarfed, as I was predicting, then there's no point in reducing its speed because it's freaking Scarfed. So that's why I did what I did that turn. So really, the way I thought about it when I was actually playing, it wasn't the worst decisions in the world. But if you look at it from a calmer perspective, you realize, long-term thinking, you realize that there would not have been a difference between... It would only be better if I used Rock Tomb. But now that I think about it, it was actually, if I used Rock Tomb, I would have ended up not setting up Belly Drum in front of the Gardevoir, fearing a Thunderbolt or some crap like that. And yeah, so it was actually turned out to be good for me, actually. But yeah, you can still end up making stupid plays, and they might cost you the game. So if that was not Double Edge Kangaskhan, it cost me the game. You know, that's what I'm trying to say here. So I hope you guys learned from it, and if you like this episode, click the like button, and check out the other content on this channel. And if you like this thing so much already that you don't even feel like checking other stuff to be convinced, just hit that subscribe button. If you're excited for Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire, I am definitely pumped, and I'm going to you know, pump out content for that thing. But the season finale for this series is going to come in tomorrow, I think, or the day after tomorrow. Yeah, the day after tomorrow. No. 2 days later it's going to come. Definitely stick around, subscribe, so you can see that. This was GroudonEmpire. Peace out.